So I'm just going to stay up here and keep talking because this next part of our service is the reflection. And today's theme is all about pilgrimage. And so I just want to give you a little reflection about how pilgrimage has come into my life. The idea of pilgrimage kind of came to me in a very strong way during a trip to Kauai with my husband and my 2 children. Well, this might not seem like much of a trek, but at the time I had suffered with pelvic pain for about 4 years, and I wondered if I could make the trip. My physical therapist encouraged me, telling me that it was a healing place and that many of her clients felt better when they went to Kauai. And she was right, and for much of the week I had been pain-free. So we were staying in a condo near the end of the road on the north side of the island, and we were in a condo that was surrounded by lush foliage, and it was placed right on a private beach. On our day of departure, about 4 a.m, I was lying in bed, and behind my closed eyes, immediately I saw stars stretching to infinity. And I am lying there like, wow, that's incredible, but it was also very destabilizing. So I went into the living room and stood on the wood floor in my bare feet. And while I was standing there, immediately my toes gripped the ground, and I could feel all this pressure under my feet on the ground, like they were being pulled into the ground. And then at the same time, behind my closed eyes, I actually saw roots coming out of the bottom of my feet, going down through the floor of the condo and burrowing deep into the center of the earth. Well, I don't know how long I stayed there, but soon my feet let go, and I walked back to bed and I quickly fell asleep. Well, then, the next morning, I woke up, and outside of our condo, over the beach, was a huge double rainbow, and you could see it almost from side to side. Well, it was raining, so I ran to the office to check out, and when I got there, the receptionist said, "Did you see that rainbow?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "We have rainbows here every day, but that one was so spectacular." She said, "We closed the office and we all went down to the beach to see it." And I said, "Do you know, this is a really spiritual place?" And she said, "Oh, yeah." She goes, "There's a lot of spiritual energy here, and some people don't know what to do with it, and they will even check out early and they'll leave." And then she said, "But there's some people who actually feel the taproot coming out of their body and going straight into the ground." And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds a little familiar." So this was definitely a special experience, and pilgrimage is considered to be a traveling often to a spiritual or a place of a holy or a spiritual place. But I found out in the first year of pain that I didn't need to travel far to have spiritual experiences. In the first year of my pain, when it was at its peak, nature started to greet me in the midst of suburbia. In the winter, as I walked barefoot on the cold, wet sand in Seal Beach, the waves rolled toward me, and their crests reflected the white moon shining overhead like a beacon in the black sky. In spring, as my husband and I walked in our neighborhood every night, the buds, the leaves, and the flowers put on an art show. In the summer, I watched my kids being silhouetted by the setting sun as they ran down the beach, and my daughter placed a rescued starfish on the jetty rocks. And in fall, I laid my head on my husband's back as he stoked the fire at Bolsa Chica. and the rain clouds were above us like a fluffy blanket, and they sprinkled our faces, and behind us, once again, a full rainbow arched over the wetlands. So I learned something about pilgrimage. I learned that when you cannot travel in the world, when that is not possible for you, you can travel within. And when you do this, your heart opens. And I learned that when your heart is open, even the everyday seems holy.